Okay, for this skill builder, the first thing I'd like you to do is draw a value scale on the side. So whenever we talk about value in art, that means the lights and darks, so white, black, and everything in between. So if artwork has a good sense of value, it means it has a really good range of light to dark. It's not all kind of washed out in light. It's not all way too dark. It has a range of value, a good range of lights and darks. So we're going to make a value scale to kind of practice our abilities there. And you can just use a regular pencil or a drawing pencil. And we'll talk a little bit about the difference between these pencils. So some of the drawing pencils you'll notice have a little label on it, like 3B, 2B, 2H. So this one's 3B, this one's 2H. And then I have an ebony pencil, which is just an extremely dark pencil. And 2H and 3B are kind of a lot different. So H means hard, or think of it as like a lighter value. B means like blackness. So if it goes 3B, 4B, 5B, 6B, 6B is a lot darker than 3B, which is darker than 2B. So we'll start here with, I'm going to use 3B just so you can see it on the video. And we're going to make our value scale. And just on the side of your paper, kind of draw a little line off to the side. And then I want you guys to do at least 6, a value scale of at least 6. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of tick off on the side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just because I have room, I'll do these last 2. But you don't have to do 8, you can do 6. On one side of my value scale, it should be completely white, so I just won't shade anything in there. And then on the very other side, it should be completely black, or as dark as I can get it with my pencil. So when I do that, I'm going to just start shading in that area, and I'm pressing not so hard that I'm going to break my pencil, but I'm pressing pretty hard. And then how you make it completely black is you're kind of just layering up the graphite. So here I did that first square, but I think I can make that darker, and see how it's kind of uneven. It almost looks like there's a Z in there. So I'm going to go over it again pressing dark, and I'm getting it a little bit darker. And graphite, if you get it on really thick, it's actually kind of a shiny material. It almost looks like metal. Okay, so that's my complete black. And so now I need to kind of go and say, all right, if that's white and that's black, then right here are going to be my middle values, right in between, almost like 50-50. And I'm just adjusting how hard I push. But what you can also do is, if it's easier for you, say, okay, I'm going to push the same, but I'm just going to go over it twice. And that way you're adding another layer of graphite. So here I'm going to push down once. I'm going to go twice. And then if I were to compare these two, this one's still maybe slightly darker, but they're awfully close to the same, so I want to push this one darker. So I'm going to go over it again. There we go. So now I definitely have a black, kind of one step up, one step up, one step up, one step up. And I think I might even push this one a little bit darker, just a slight bit, but going over it lightly again. And then this one too. So that's called cross hatching, when you go in opposite directions. So it went up and down the first time, second time went side to side. And now we're going to go lightly and then super light. So here, without using any like blending stump or anything, I have a good value scale from black to white. So when I start my drawing, I can kind of reference this and say, okay, this part of the shoe, where is it on my value scale, and then try to copy that over onto my drawing. There's also these blending stumps. They're also called tortillons, and you can use these for blending. If you need to clean it, you can get some sandpaper and kind of sand it. Please don't press hard, like jab it down and scrub with it. It's kind of nicer to use the side of the blending stump. So if you can use the side, and that'll create kind of a smoother look. The downside to using this too much is it can kind of like make everything sort of wash out and become the same. So you can see that it smooths it out. And then as we get up here, I'll show you what that looks like. There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna start sketching our shoe. And you can kind of turn it and see what kind of design, what viewpoint you want to have. So I think that honestly the easiest would be the side view. So we'll go ahead and do the side view. And you're going to start just by sketching really lightly. Draw it light until you get it right. And sometimes what's helpful is doing like overall shapes. So you're going to say, okay, it's going to be this size. Because a lot of times when we start drawing, we end up getting tunnel vision, and you'll draw like something really detailed, and then you'll step back and it looks really weird. Like if you've ever drawn a face and you start drawing an eye and you have like a beautiful eye, and then you start drawing the next eye and it's also beautiful, but when you look at them together, they don't match. So sometimes what's nice is to just do what we call a gesture sketch, which is just getting the basic shape and size in there. And now I'm going to go and start to add in these details. Like I see this one, and then there's kind of a gap, and then the other ridge. So this is called a contour drawing. This is kind of just the outlines. And then you can start to draw the outlines of what you see on the inside. So I see there's this detail that dips up right here and then curves down towards the heel.